everybody, it's Amy and Maggie from ThinkerThemer.
皆さんこんにちは。
And guess what? We're headed again to Tokyo Game Market Autumn 2025. I'm so excited.
So exciting. Every time.
Oh, we love it.
Doesn't
And we
get
love
old.
Japan, and we're just going to spend a little bit of time in Tokyo beforehand. And as we drop this video, it's probably only 1 week away.
Yes,
and
when we do go.
Yeah,
Yes.
1 week away, 1 week to go.
Yeah.
And I have been researching.
She has not stopped. So I kind of went through the list and when I picked up a few things, and then Amy's just been like beautiful mind, like all day, every night. I go to bed and she's like on the laptop looking at titles, and then I wake up and she's like on the phone looking at titles. This has been your life.
It has for probably the last few months. And what's interesting about Tokyo Game Market, if you've never been, is there is no such thing as perfect information. You are walking in generally not knowing a lot about the titles. There's of course a huge language barrier. For us, of course, a language barrier if you're headed there for the first time and you don't speak Japanese. It is a pretty challenging convention to attend if you're trying to know everything there is to know about the games. And even on top of that, even if you can speak Japanese, the rate at which they publish the rulebooks or any information about the games can also be very, very slow and scattered across the weeks leading up. And then some will just be there.
Every time this has happened, like we're there and then we see things that we, like there was no mention of these. They just kind of happened to like, oh yeah, we've got these. And they look so amazing. And then it's so tempting. And then, too many yen later, we're like, what have we done?
What have we done?
We're literally like counting coins going, can we afford this?
And we will absolutely do that again. We will buy too many. We'll buy more than what's on this list. But we wanted to start somewhere. We've never done an anticipated list for Tokyo Game Market. We wanted to help you maybe shortcut a bit of your research. But I did also want to add, this is the hardest convention for us to be able to predict the games that we're going to enjoy.
Yeah.
I have read as many rule books as I can. I've tried to decipher who the designers are and connect the dots as much as I can. But if you're going for the first time, don't feel the pressure of FOMO. That is something I will say, and I will tell that to myself.
Yeah, this is more like, what do you call it? Like a self-talk.
Self-talk.
Yes. Self-reassurance.
Yeah, because the thing about Tokyo Game Market is it's generally the designer themselves who set up a booth and they're selling maybe 200 copies of their game.
If that.
If that. And guess what? You may never see it again. And that is the FOMO element. So you're like, that looks great. The art is almost always amazing. And so you just want to grab everything. But so what we're hoping is that this video can at least give you a bit of information that if you see it there, at least you're like, oh, that's right. That's the one. That's X, Y, and Z. And is that for me or not? That is our intention. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into this list of 20 games. Okay, so number 20. Now, I just want to talk a little bit about how I ranked these. I essentially pitched all of these games to Maggie with what I knew, and then Maggie helped me rank them, and of course added some of her own into the mix as well.
Sort of threw mine in for consideration, but really, Amy's done all the research. She knows how, of the things that we can figure out how they might play.
Look, it's not going to be a substantial amount of information for each one, so strap in. But number 20 is a game. Now, I always forget how to say that. It's Septentrick. So this is by PAX Guild. PAX Guild last Tokyo Game Market did Sumu. Sumu landed okay with us, so we wanted to like it more than I think we eventually did. But they did also do the roulette
taking game, which we really enjoyed. And we're still waiting for hopefully a reprint at some point, because that's one of those titles that it's impossible to get.
But PAX Guild is pretty well respected and is releasing a couple of games. This one I thought was interesting because it's cooperative. We don't play a lot of cooperative games, but I don't mind a cooperative trick-taking game. I know you don't gel with them as much because of the pressure.
I like For Northwood, so that's the solo trick-taking game. But
like cooperative is not the same as solo.
I mean, I'm cooperating with myself. I'm not I guess I am competing at that. Then I am competing against the game. So never mind.
But anyway, in this one, there's been some kind of Titanic incident where a boat is sinking, and essentially you're trying to get every passenger a life raft, and so you're working together to make sure that happens, and you can save everybody. That is all I know. It's got beautiful art, which of course helps get it into the list.
Watercolor kind of.
Yeah.
It almost does remind me of the Titanic. So it's very much, I don't know if it's meant to be exactly or just like inspired by.
Yeah. Anyway, so that is our number 20, Septentrick. Now, our number 19 is a game that is quite interesting and that has a real-time element. It's called Outrick. Now, Outrick is interesting in that the game starts like fit to print style, where all of the cards are laid out on the table. And in real time, you're going to be picking up only one at a time and deciding whether you want that for your hand or not. So you're looking at it and then you're putting it down, and you're looking at it and you're putting it down, and you're trying to craft a hand of cards until someone yells stop or grabs a stop card, or there's some kind of one person
That's like
stops
also,
the draft.
I think the game Galaxy Trucker also has that sort of element of like you have a bit of a chaos in the middle at the start to collect the pieces that then you're going to have to deal with.
Yeah, but interestingly, then every player takes a voting card and votes whether it's going to be a shedding game or a trick-taking game. So then you've got everybody, putting...
That's cool.
Yeah, and so then what's interesting is in the draft, are you thinking about how am I going to create a meld to play in a shedding game, or how am I going to get the highest cards to win in tricks?
Yeah.
So...
So it's like that whole mitigating. It's like, do I go kind of halfway, or do I really just commit to one direction and hope for the best? Or like, that's intriguing.
So this one is a little bit lower just because I'm like, I don't know if that's going to equal complete chaos, or if it's going to be like something that you can mitigate, and then it's like feels really strategic. I do love a real-time component though.
Because it's very energizing. Like whenever you have this sort of like that element, but it's also more stressful. So for people that prefer a more calm experience on the table, those games tend to not be the best.
Maybe when we're bringing like 50 games home from Tokyo Game Market, this can be in between to energize the table before we're like, and another trick-taking game.
Now, speaking of real-time, we believe this one also has an element of real-time, and it's by the designer Masato Uesugi, who also did Extreme Tricks, which is going to be made into, or it's been picked up by All Play, and I think it's going to be called, is it Sick Tricks?
Sick Tricks, yeah. So it's all about skateboarding. I've played that game. I really enjoy it. It's very smart, very heady as a trick taker. So as soon as I saw that this game was also by that designer, which is a big part of how I make my list these days, because you don't have much information to go on, I was like, okay, what's this all about? Now, interestingly, it's actually a poker style game.
What's it called?
Yeah. Oh, it's called Wizard Showdown.
Okay,
Didn't you mention that at the start? Oh, okay. It's called Wizard Showdown. It has beautiful art. So the art, I was like, yes. And then the game style was poker, and I was like, maybe no. But like, but then as I was reading more, I believe the way it works is that there are going to be two cards in the center of the table, and everyone's going to be dealt two cards, and you're making the best set of three that you can in terms of like a poker style hand. But then I believe there's a real-time element where you're quickly grabbing like bids or something.
Okay.
And so you're assessing like, do I have a good hand relative to everybody else? What could the best hand be? But it's all very fast, I think. And then there's also like a bluffing element that comes into it somehow.
Okay.
Now, there is another poker style game that I wanted to talk about, which is called Sushi Otter.
Oh, yeah, I saw that one. I think I submitted that for consideration.
You did.
I was like,
and so
it looks so cute.
And that's by Hisashi Yashi, I believe. And so that's probably going to be, very popular, and everywhere the art is so cute as well. And it's another poker style game. So, I don't know which one's going to be better, but they're both in the kind of a similar realm for us, because poker's a little bit lower down than trick taking or shedding for us. But anyway, if you're into that, check those out. Now, number 17 is really interesting because it's an old German game called Doppelkopf. Doppelkopf. I have no idea how to pronounce that. Hopefully that was close.
Sounds...
It is one of Sai Beppu's favorite games. And Sai has decided to create a deck that is specifically designed for this game. So
cool.
I'm already in because Sai Beppu, like, beautiful art. And
such a range as an artist.
Such a range.
And every time I'm like, oh, what is that? It's like, of course, it's Sai Beppu.
Yes, but because she's so passionate about this game, she wanted to make it more accessible for more people. That's cool. Because this game is quite interesting. It's a paired trick-taking game, but you don't know who your partner is at the beginning of the game. So that's really fascinating to me. And then you're trying to capture tricks, of course, but it's not the number of tricks that you're trying to win on. It's different cards have different point values, and so some of them have more points than others, and so those are the ones that you and your partner want to be able to capture. So it sounds really interesting, but the card she's designed for it has the points built in, and the things that would make it hard to play with a regular deck of cards.
Yeah, okay.
She's kind of like, purpose built.
That's good.
Yeah, purpose built this deck for. So I'm really excited because I actually hadn't even heard of this game before Sai was talking about this deck.
I'm surprised because it's such a cool mechanic of that kind of mystery, who's your partner thing, and we've seen it in other games. It doesn't get used that much, but it's always really intriguing. It's almost like a deduction game within the game, so that's cool.
Yeah. So thank you, Sai, for making that more accessible to us, and that's our number 17.
And speaking of Sai Beppu, the next game also has art by Sai Beppu, and it is Shady Lady, which is by the designer of Nana, which was one of those games that we just absolutely loved. And
Great
it's so
game.
simple, and you don't realize, you don't think it's going to be as fun as it actually then is when you're playing. You're like, this is incredible.
And one of the best things about Nana as well was the beautiful Sai Beppu art. So this partnership is getting back together, which is what has everybody's, that's what has everybody's attention. It's like designer of Nana, again with Sai Beppu art, what is going on here? Super simple game. So simple, in fact, that it's like, is this going to be simple in the style of Nana, in that it's like you don't realize how fun it is until you play it.
And you're
but I'm going to explain really quickly how it works. Essentially, you are always on your turn deciding between drafting a card, and the way you draft a card is you can take one off the top of the deck, or you can pick up a card from anyone's discard pile, including your own, and then you're simply going to discard another card. So that's your option, first of all, is you can get a new card into your hand, or you can declare a try. And when you declare a try, you say, I'm going to try, declare, I don't know, I'm going to try, and you basically...
Try and win, essentially.
Try and win, yeah. And you're basically betting that you have the most powerful meld in your hand. So a 3-card meld in your hand, where a set is worth more than a run. And so you're looking, you're like, I've got 3 6s. That's going to be pretty good. And so you're like, I'm going to show everybody what my hand is. And then in clockwise turn order, everyone gets to decide whether they want to, beat your try or not. And they would want to if they could, because the winner or the person who has the highest meld is going to get 1 point. Now, the other part of this, the
shady part comes in.
The shady part is that you can call a jack. So on your turn, instead of doing a try and showing your hand, you can call a jack, which means you're going to point at someone and basically say, you have a meld in your hand. And if they reveal and they do have a meld in their hand, you get a point. And they lose their cards and have to draw back up.
What is intriguing about this is I don't know how you'll be able to tell or even guess that someone might have reached the point where they have a meld and they haven't voiced it. So I think that's I don't know if maybe it'll
probably
be
because they're sitting there like,
yeah, it's like they're reading poker faces and going, you look like a shady lady right now.
I love the name of it, Shady Lady. And I think that there's going to be a lot of table talk around that. Just like, do you have a strong meld? It's like, I don't know, do I? Do I? Like, try me. Well, not try me.
Yeah, well, you
Jack me.
Jack me, yes.
I don't know how that's going to work. Anyway, that is our number 16, Shady Lady.
Our number 15 is a game called I Don't Want to Walk, which is very relatable because it's about trying to coax your dog into going for a walk. And our dog, Boston, he hates the rain. So if it's at all either raining or looking like it's about to rain, he does these of like, I'm not moving.
Go.
So this whole game is about essentially using there's a lot of different elements. There's push your luck. There's, I think, like hand management and to try and get temptation cards and avoid rejection cards and essentially sway the dog to be like, fine, let's go for a walk. So it looks really cute and adorable. I really love the concept of that theme. So keen to try.
It's really cute, and I definitely pre-ordered the playmat.
Yeah.
Even though you told me not to.
I was like, we probably don't need the playmat. We have so many playmats. It's that thing that then you're like, you get excited at the time, and then you're like, now I have all these playmats.
I like that was such a reduced reaction. I should tell Maggie everything while we're recording. Because you're like, I told you not to.
That's the thing. It's like, it makes for a really cool table presence when you do have it.
And the playmat was so cute.
Storage. It's the storage that
I know. I couldn't resist. The playmat was so cute.
Fine. That's I Don't Want to Walk.
Now, with that reveal out of the way, we can get into number 14.
Ambush, if you will.
It's called Splitrick. Now, Splitrick is interesting in it that it's a trick avoidance game. There's a lot of cards that are worth negative points if you win them in tricks. But there's also some very harsh conditions at the start of the game as well that are going to dictate even more penalties. So this is like a really interactive kind of negative point causing game. So if you don't like that, maybe trick avoid this one.
Nice.
But essentially, the little twist to this game is that you know what your hand is, you know what these conditions are, and then you get to divide your hand in half if you want. If you don't, you actually have the opportunity to make more points at the end of the game. But if you do, then of course you can manipulate what cards you're going to have in the first half versus the second half, which means you can short suit yourself and maybe avoid some of the penalties that are about to come your way. So that is just an interesting premise. It doesn't sound like it's going to be too difficult to teach. And our friends love trick-taking games that are mean.
Yeah.
Don't they?
Yeah, we have a very
And
highly
by our
interactive-
friends, I mean us as well.
Yeah.
Like some of our favorite trick-taking games.
And the people that we force to play with us sometimes. Yeah.
Because trick-taking games aren't necessarily that mean anyway, because a trick is like pretty short and instant, but you always feel so good when you're like, haha.
Well, you always feel so good.
Okay, fine. I'll just speak for myself. I love interactive, mean trick-taking games. So trick avoidance is great, and that is why Splitrick is my number 14. Okay, on to number 13. It is a game called Magic Shop. It's the new game by Jupiter's Club. Their last game was Match Fixers High from the last convention, and that actually got picked up more broadly by Plate. So that is more accessible and available if you didn't get it in its original can format. It's now in a box. So you can grab that at the show as well. But this one really fascinates me. So this one is called Magic Shop, and each of the 5 suits have a magic or special ability associated with them. And essentially what you're going to be doing is if you win the trick, you get to choose which card you use that's been played into that trick or which suit you use its special ability of. And that's going to do things like maybe change the trump suit or change the way that tricks us, kind of the hierarchy for tricks and that type of thing. So the fascinating thing is when you're deciding which card you want to use, if you use your own, it's free. But if you use someone else's, you're going to be collecting thirst tokens. And if you are the first person to play a trump suit, you also collect thirst tokens. And why are these thirst tokens important? Because at the end of the game, because you're going to be making a prediction of the number of tricks you're going to take, and if you get your prediction correct, you are going to get bonus points, which are dependent on the number of thirst tokens that your opponents have collected. So it's the thirst tokens themselves not hurting you, but they're giving an opportunity to your opponents to get more points.
So they're going to help. So they don't hurt you, but they'll help your opponents. That's interesting.
I like that. And the game also has like, a little dial, and it has a bit more table presence than just a set of cards. So, I'm intrigued by that. I like the art style too. So that is Magic Shop. Now, number 12 is a remake of an older title. So the new title is called I'm the CEO, and the older game was Wizard Extreme or Slough Off, a game that I've actually never played. We've never played that game. I think we own Wizard Extreme somewhere, but never played it. Stefan Dora is the designer who's very prolific, has over 60 titles on BGG. But I recently played one of his newer titles from 2024, Skull Queen. And I really enjoy that title. It has some fascinating mechanics in there, which made me even more interested in I'm the CEO. But essentially the way Slough Off works, the original game, is each player is going to make a prediction based on the tricks that they're going to win with different colored suits. So for example, I might take 2 blue tokens saying I'm going to win 2 tricks with blue cards, and then 2 red tokens. And then maybe I'm like, oh no, I'm not going to win anything in yellow, so I'm not going to take any of those tokens. And then you're going to be penalized if you don't meet that prediction. So you're going to lose 2 points if you've got tokens left over that you didn't allocate to tricks. So I had 2 blue tokens, but I only won 1 blue trick. So that extra token is going to be minus 2 points. But then even worse, is if you win additional tricks and you hadn't placed any bids on getting that trick. So say I won a yellow or I won too many blue, those are going to be worth -3 points. So you definitely don't want to get those. Now, the little twist is that someone can opt to be the sluffer in the original game, or I believe in this game it's probably going to be the CEO because
Nominate
it's called,
themselves.
Yeah,
Just
I'm
like
the
in
CEO.
real life,
I'm the
you're
CEO.
in your everyday job, and all of a sudden someone's like, you know what? I'm the CEO. I was like, okay.
Yeah, just like in real life.
Yeah.
So they say, I'm the CEO or I'm the sluffer. And essentially now they are going to be rewarded for every one of those -3 points that you get. I think it's only if you kind of overshoot your bid. They're going to get points according to how many of those occur on the table, which is kind of like a shoot the moon mechanic, because now that person, the CEO, is incentivized to lose every trick so that people win more tricks than they were anticipating. So I really like the new art for this game, and I just think like how cool to have this like Japanese version which has like a different theme.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be trying to find it. You can't reserve that one, but I'll try to find it.
Now, our number 11 is a title called Dodicitre, which I think is 1213 in Italian, by Taiki Shinzawa, who has done games like American Bookshop, was it Lose?
Lose, yeah, Maskmen,
Yes.
Six Forces, a ton of games. And the rule is that when Taiki releases a game, everybody buys it. That's just an unspoken rule.
Okay.
No, I know that not everybody loves their designs, but for me, it's definitely, I always want to try and access if I can. It's like notoriously no reservations, probably limited copies, and everyone's going to be trying to get their hands on this title. But there is no information about it.
Yeah.
There is literally no information about it except the fact that it's called 12-3, and the suits run from 3 to 12 in that there are no number 1 and 2. That is all I know about
then
it.
what
And
happens?
it's a shedding game. It's not a trick-taking game.
Okay.
That's all.
There's a lot of mystery around this. It's like, but then how is that, like, what happens then? We'll find out.
We'll find out. Stay
find
tuned. Okay, so number 10 is a title called The Third Man, which has a quirky, like German style art almost, or European style art, but it is by a Japanese designer, and they had I've forgotten now, the name has escaped me, but they had a previous very popular trick-taking game. In this game, it's kind of like, it's taking inspiration from a murder mystery, except for it's far less intense in this theme. I think it's like Who Stole the Pizza or something.
Oh yeah,
like
that's
that.
right. Yeah.
Who's stolen the pizza? And what you're trying to do is not raise suspicion that it was you, but you do raise suspicion by winning tricks. So you don't want to do that. So it's a trick avoidance game. But in this game, when you follow suit, you also must play the highest card in your hand.
Right.
And there's limited cards in each suit, so it's inevitable that you are going to have to get rid of these high cards somehow. And so it's according to the designer, like this very kind of tense game of deciding how you control how you're going to get rid of those high cards, or if you do win a trick, then making sure that you can then, of course, like get not lead next time and then not win all of the tricks after that. So you have to time it really correctly, and to help you do that, every player gets 2 escape cards that you're going to be able to play into a trick instead of playing a card that you might have to.
Yeah.
But then that gives information to people as well, because they're like, oh, you use that, that's interesting. That must mean that you have this particular high card of this suit, and if you could retain that information in your head, it's probably really useful, but I'm not very good at that.
We'll find out.
Anyway, so that is our number 10, The Third Man. Now, number 9 is one of my favorite designers. So it's Yusuke Matsumoto, the designer of Nokusu Dice, and the designer of Final Binary.
That game broke my mind. It's just, there's so much going on. I guess same with like Nokusu Dice. They're always really interesting designs.
Yes. So anytime he's going to release a game, I'm going to be paying attention. And this one is another like wild ride. So hear me out. Okay. So it's called 10-12 Heart. And essentially it's a 4-player game only. And 1 player is going to be the dealer. So the dealer is going to deal all the cards and then look at everybody's cards. Weird. And make predictions about player A and B. So the 2 people to the left of the dealer. And so under different categories. So they've got a grid, a spreadsheet, oh my goodness, that they need to fill out about, you know, how many tricks player A is going to win in a particular color with a particular color. But they've seen their hand. So they're like, interesting. Okay. So they're making all of their predictions. But the cool thing then is like, okay, the dealer's going to get points if they get their predictions correct. Pretty straightforward. But then the way the incentive system works here is quite fascinating. So player A is incentivized to also get, you know, meet their bid that the dealer has set. Yet the dealer is controlling how much information about the bids is being controlled each round. So they're going to slowly reveal the bids. And so the dealer has to be thinking, what do I need to communicate to the players earliest so that they make the right choices about the bids that I've made? That's how I'm interpreting this. And then player A now has seen my bid, the dealer's bid, and is like, okay, I want to get that so we can both get points. But A will get double the points if B doesn't make their bid in the same category. And so A and B are working against each other and against the dealer, because the dealer wants A and B to both get their bid. But A only wants A to get their bid. B only wants B to get their bid. And ideally,
they don't want each other to like meet their bid. So it's just.
And what is player C doing? I don't know. Being a chaos agent, I assume.
Just doing this the whole time.
Because player C wants no one to get anything. So I imagine their whole goal is just like not let anyone get any of the bids.
Well, this sounds like it's going to be mathy and heady and interesting. So yeah, looking forward to it.
It's 100% what I would expect from this designer. If it wasn't for you, this would probably be way higher up in my list. But I appreciate that these designs are probably not as engaging.
Yeah, they're not the most like, you know, there's no theme literally with this. It's literally numbers 10, 12, isn't it? So,
and a spreadsheet.
But look, they're always a very unique experience.
I love it. I love it. I can't wait. So that is 10, 12 heart. Okay, number 8 is Balance the Ark. This is by the designer of Lazy Bellboys or Clumsy Roommates, which we didn't really connect with Clumsy Roommates, but I do love Lazy Bellboys.
Was good,
very good. And also they're releasing another game called Warrior's Testament, which looks mechanically interesting, but the theme kind of it put us off a little bit. But this one, Balance the Ark, is super cute. And when I pitched this to Maggie and showed her the cover, she was like immediately in.
Absolutely, let's go.
So in this one, you when you're winning tricks, you are taking all of the animal cards and you're placing them in your own personal ark. And depending on which side of the ark you're putting them on, the left or the right, they're going to weigh different amounts. And so each card has a weight on either side, depending on where you put it. But just like in Noah's Ark, they only want to be, you know, in pairs, or essentially they just want to stick to their own kind. So if you put a giraffe on the right, then every subsequent giraffe that you place there also has to be on the right.
That is where it's sort of, because it's now not just 2 of them. It sounds like there's potentially going to be more.
There's probably going to be more of them. Yeah, it's okay. We take some liberties on the theme.
Exactly, some liberties.
Well, it's got a theme, so we're happy. But basically, by the end of the game, what you're trying to do is balance your ark. So you want to have the weight of the animals on the right match the weight of the animals on the left.
Perfect sense.
Yeah, and then there are, I think there's some like Noah's family kind of cards, and there is a dove card.
Oh yeah, I love this because the translation of dove kept coming up as like depressed pigeon.
Yeah, I was like, where is this depressed pigeon? It keeps talking about.
I can see that. Yeah, I can see how the dove could be the equivalent of a depressed, because it's like the more emotionally sensitive pigeon. Like pigeons are just kind of like going about their day.
The other way around. It kept saying depressed dove or pigeon.
No, I thought it was like depressed. Dove is a depressed pigeon. And I'm like, I can see that logically. It's like because the pigeons are just kind of like going about their day.
Yeah, does that make thematic sense?
It does. Okay. Look at a pigeon and look at a dove. The dove is a lot more sentimental. They're more gentle. Anyway, so they're more prone to...
Anyway, there's no pigeons in this game. They're doves, which makes, I think, more sense given the theme. But you can use those to mitigate against, you know, having an imbalance on your ark.
Okay.
I just think this one will be super accessible, really easy to teach, easy to get to the table. I think this one's going to be really popular. Yeah. I just feel because of that theme and like
the artwork and all that.
And the idea of balancing the animals, I think it's going to be thinky enough and really accessible. So I'm tipping this one's going to be popular. But that is Balance the Ark. Now, our number 7 is a game we really know nothing about. This is
aside from the fact that the cover looks really cute.
The cover is super cute.
It's called Ants, and it's like just this really, really cute yellow cover with this cute little ant
You'll be able to see it on screen now.
You will be able to see it on screen.
It is by Yokome, who is the designer of bubblegum, of dogs, of peas.
Which is like 2-player games. They're all 2-player only.
A lot of them are 2 players. Dogs wasn't, but a lot of them are 2-player games, trick-taking games. And this one, the premise of it is that it's a 2-player trick-taking game where you are going to place a queen bee card somewhere in your hand and try
queen ant card?
Oh, yeah.
It's called ants, and you're protecting queen bees. Like, why?
Okay. You're protecting the queen ant.
Yes, would make more sense.
In your hand from something. I don't know. That's all I know. It's just that you're going to be placing it in your hand and then you're trying to protect it somehow. But because of the designer, I like collecting all of his games. So and he's lovely.
And it's really interesting to have like 2-player only games. So it's like, check them out. So that's ants, our number 7.
Now, number 6 is a departure from trick-taking. We can take a break. It is called Tactile Crane Championship. And it is the theme is the UFO catchers, the crane games.
Machine.
Oh, immediately I was like, I'm listening.
Your hand is a crane.
Your hand is a crane in this game. It is Saibepu art. It is amazing. It has some embossed gold on the card. So all of those things, I'm like, what is this? I must have this game. But essentially, the way this game works is you are going to be drawing a card and it's going to be telling you which part of your hand, so maybe it's like this finger, you need to use to pick up from the top of a deck a certain number of cards.
Or there. Yeah.
Yeah, so it might say 6, and you need to close your eyes and use just that finger to pick up a pile of 6 cards without dropping it. Everybody else is going to be betting on the fact that you may...
How wrong are you going to get that?
So everyone is, hoping for your demise, basically. And because you've got your eyes shut, then people can essentially be like, no, you need to pick up more, get more. And so they can be really disruptive and, try and get their bet and mislead you. So this is just a silly dexterity game, but, combined with beautiful art and a theme that we love. Why wouldn't I buy this?
Let's go.
Take my money. It is Tactile Crane Championship.
Our number 5 is the game Catte, which I think is like cat and latte, because you are...
But you're not drinking cats.
You're not drinking cats. Your cat's drinking latte, or trying to make the most sophisticated cup of latte. And this is by designer Leo, who also did the games Salty, Vivo, and recently A Fine Line. So they're always designs that I'm intrigued by. And so, as soon as I saw this one, also it looks super cute. And I'm intrigued by I enjoy the theme.
And you tend to push your luck. And this game has a little bit of that as well, because essentially you're trying to win cards to sum to a total that you don't want to go over. You want to get as close to without going over. Price is right rules. So you will bust. But the other thing you're trying to do is at the start of the hand, you are, I believe, dealt 3 cards face up in front of you. And you are going to, when you have the opportunity to lead, you're going to be using one of those cards. And if you don't get rid of those 3 cards, meaning if you don't lead at least 3 times, you're also going to get penalties. So basically you're trying to make your way towards a number. You have to win at least 3 times. So you've got to probably sum that out. I need to win at least 3 cards to get to that number. And then, there's this penalty involved too. It seems a lot simpler than Fine Line, which I will welcome, because Fine Line was just really clever, but pretty hard to get into.
Because you're kind of playing, it was again, a Fine Line, it was about kind of eating and trying not to overeat, and then, but you can then use antacids to help you with digestion. And
there was a lot going on in that game. This seems more like a similar weight to Vivo. Yeah. Anyway, so that is our number 5, Catte. Now, our number 4 is a game called For the People, and this one just has me from the mechanics alone. I'm just really intrigued by it. So essentially, in this game, all of the suits represent different parts of society.
Or social classes.
Social classes or political alignment. I'm not sure one of those. I didn't look too much into the theme. I'm so sorry.
Classic.
But basically what you're doing is you're declaring your manifesto color at the start of a round, and you're going to place one of those cards in front of you. And what you're doing as you win tricks is you're collecting the cards and you're adding a set collection style to this hierarchy that you're developing. Now, when you place a new card down, a new suit for the first time, you're deciding, does that go above or below the cards that I already have? Because once you've set that order, you cannot change it. And then you're going to be building out those sets. Now, why is that important? Because when we get to scoring, what's going to happen is any, in that hierarchy, a suit that is above another suit needs to have more cards collected in it. So that's fascinating. And then on top of that, there is this ever-changing evolution of the hierarchy of what's, which suits are more or less powerful.
Right.
And this is a may follow trick-taking game, which is, more unusual.
Yeah.
And so the way that the hierarchy works is if someone wins with something that's at the top of the hierarchy, so this particular color is at the top, then it goes down to the bottom. But then there is this corruption suit.
Oh, yeah.
And so when this corruption suit gets to the top, it's like most powerful. And so everyone's going to want to play the corruption suit. And it rises to the top more quickly. Yeah.
It's like a poison. It just sort of taints everything.
It does, and it keeps coming back really quickly. So that's what makes it a more powerful, almost like Trump-like, but it's within this ever-changing hierarchy. Okay. So there's just some interesting things going on mechanically here, and I can't wait to check it out.
Great.
But that is our number 4 for the people. Okay, now we're into the top 3, and I've cheated a little bit.
Every time.
Because number 3 has 3 games within it.
Every time.
I can't help it because this designer is actually releasing more than 3 games at this particular convention. It is Modi, or more with an exclamation mark. But this designer did Switch 2, which was in our top 5 of games.
That was quite interesting.
From the last one. It was great. Great little shedder, weird little theme, jumping on the bandwagon of Nintendo Switch 2.
Yeah, but not quite the same thing for copyright reasons.
But that was a really great game. So they are actually releasing multiple titles, and I'm going to talk about just a few of them. So the first one is New Record Continue with a question mark. So it's arcade themed.
Okay, yeah. So like the continue screen that you get when you're like, you want to put more coins kind of thing.
I think that is the premise of it.
Okay.
And I really am drawn to that theme. I really like the box artwork that they've used here. But the game, first interesting thing, 2 of these games don't even come with any cards.
What?
Yeah, so you have to provide your own regular playing card deck.
Like a standard deck. I thought it was just like a ghost empty box. It's like, make your own game.
No, but it comes with components. I see. And it comes with rules to play a game, but you just provide your own deck. And I don't know how I feel about that. I feel it's probably good from a sustainability perspective because then you've just got one.
Fewer cards if it's,
we do have like a nice Saibepu deck already, so we could use that. But also, I kind of want everything ready to go in the game box so that I can take it places.
But also, it better be discounted because I'm not paying for it. So I'm paying for the cards that are coming.
No, it's regular price, but maybe it has lots of other components. I guess anyway, we'll find out.
Now I'm rationalizing and talking myself into it's like maybe you're paying for the idea and the
that's
IP.
Right. You are.
You're licensing the idea.
You are. It takes a lot of work to get a game. Anyway, we've digressed so much. So in this game is a shedding game, and you're going to be playing different melds as usual. But what's interesting is you have your own player high score board, and you're trying to beat your previous high score.
Yeah.
So if you win, I think it's win, or if maybe it's either win or when you get overtaken, you take that meld and you add it to your collection. So basically, let's say you win with a pair, and that pair is a pair of 1s. You put a 1 there, and then next time you might win with a pair of 4s, and you'll overwrite that 1 with now a 4. You can add that to the pile, but it only goes in ascending order.
Of course, you have to beat your own score.
So you can't add a lower meld to your high score collection, which means you want to play out your hand in ascending order.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Interesting.
That is intriguing.
But so is everybody else. So then do you want to skip ahead to make it such that they have to skip ahead and ruin their high scores? I always think of how do you mess with other players.
Yeah, that's where your mind goes to straight away. It's like, how can I make Maggie's night terrible?
Whatever. You do the same as well. You just hide it better than I do.
Only when we play together. I don't feel like that with other people.
Oh, you're nice to other people.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the next one I want to talk about is Trick Taker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Oh, yeah.
Now, again, probably another IP infringement.
Yes, I don't know how.
Certainly they don't have the license for this.
Yeah.
But And I actually don't know how the theme applies to the game at all. So I don't really know the IP very well.
I am familiar with the books and the movie, but
let me explain the game.
Yeah, explain the game, and then I'll be trying to think.
Okay.
Do the thematic stretch.
So Modi is a fan of the game No Thanks.
Okay.
And so this game was built on a similar premise to No Thanks. Now, if you haven't played No Thanks, go play it because it's an incredible party game and we love it.
Yes.
But basically, it takes the same idea that you are having to use a limited number of chips that you have to pay to make things go away. And in this case, the thing that you're paying to go away is a really difficult condition it's placing on you for a trick-taking game. So there's these difficult conditions that are going to be kind of passed from player to player, and you're having to pay to make that go away. And at some point, you're going to have to inevitably take some of them to refill those tokens so that you can get rid of other ones because you're looking at your hand going, well, I definitely can't achieve that.
Okay.
So I need to pay to make that go away more, and I'm going to have to take on this other thing that is also probably pretty bad, but at least it's achievable.
Okay. I'm still trying to find the connection.
Mathematically, no. Okay, let me keep going. It also has that other element of No Thanks, where in No Thanks you can absorb some numbers because they've got the sequence, which makes it less risky for you to take those on. It's similar here. If you take on two different rule sets, into your area, and they both have the same letter on them, which I think relates to a similar style of complication for you, then you're reducing the risk, so you lose fewer points if you don't win it, but you're also reducing the reward, so you don't get as much, you don't get double if you get both. So you can kind of make it less painful, and then other people are going to be like, why don't you just take that too, because you've already got one, and you've already got one, so it's less risky for you. Don't make me do that.
Yeah. I still don't know what the thematic link is, and I might be missing it, but I'm like, the closest I've gotten is just a don't panic. So it's like, because it sounds like there's a lot going on, and I don't know if it's like you might start to panic. So it's like the advice is don't panic.
Okay, I don't know the IP at all, so I don't get that reference.
Well, help if anyone can connect what Amy just said, mechanically speaking, to how this could relate to, hey, maybe it's got nothing to do with Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which is what we're thinking this is referencing. So maybe there you go, there was no IP connection, it was just a happy coincidence.
Just put those two things together.
The phrasing is similar, but it's just what it is.
But it would stand up in a court of law because you'd be like, no, these two things have no connection to each other.
It's got nothing to do with, tell me where you see it. No, I genuinely, there might be. I haven't been able to connect them from just the explanation of the mechanics.
That's 2 of 3, so let's keep going.
Okay.
But that second one also does not have a deck of cards in it. It has all the tokens, and it has all of the things that you're trying to avoid in there. So it doesn't have a deck of cards. So
does it come with a towel?
A what?
That's a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Stop it! Okay, the other thing...
You got trouble with your towel wherever you go. Yeah, okay.
The other thing about that game, there's one more thing that I wanted to tell you, and now the towel thing has derailed me. I have no idea what I was going to say. Something about... Oh, I know what it was. It was a warning that the rule cards are in Japanese.
Don't panic.
Yeah. So if you... uncomfortable with that, or you don't want to, put English in there. Obviously, if you can't read Japanese and you don't want to edit the cards or print your own translation, then don't pick up this game because it is language dependent. So I think I still want to get it and maybe go to the effort of putting it in sleeves with the translation.
Or we'll just have to learn it.
We'll just have to study. Yeah. Okay, so the third one is interesting because the third one is not trick taking nor shedding. It's called construction auction. And this one is so hard to grasp from the little information that is out there, how it plays. But from what I've read, it sounds really intriguing. So it is an auction style game, but you're bidding with multi-use tokens. And I think that's the key here.
Yeah.
So you are using tokens to build buildings that you're also wanting to spend those tokens on to get the building.
Yeah.
And then somehow you can also take them off the building to pay for bids as well. And you also need to get all the tokens off buildings.
So it's like a brick economy. You can use it to build the thing. You can use it to buy things. You can take them off the building to buy things.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So there's these multi-use tokens, and then there's like these other tokens that represent different parts of your technology and different things, and the way that you piece them together, I think, on the buildings also does something.
Okay.
The designer seemed very excited about this design, and the designer is a very good designer. So I'm excited that they're excited.
I'm excited to check it out.
Yeah. So Anyway, I've put all of these three on there. They also have a new roll and write, a very complex roll and write coming up, but that just looked like a bridge too far for me to try to understand. But you can also check that out. So that is our number 3, a collection of games by Mori. Now, our number 2 is Ouroboros Trick. I hope I said that correctly.
Yeah, which
Probably
I believe refers to the sort of the ancient Greek of the tail eating. So you usually would see like the snake that's sort of eating its own tail.
Or a dragon sometimes.
Or a dragon, yeah. So and it's sort of usually representing either eternity or cycles or, you know, life and death, birth and death. And so, yeah.
And this one is a thematic connection to the mechanics. Are you ready? So in this game, you are trying to stay alive because when you win tricks, so you play out a trick-taking game, but when you win a trick, the number of the lowest card in that trick that you've won, you have to shed 2 cards out of your hand.
Yeah.
The cards that you've won in the trick, however, they go in front of you as a pool. And when you've spent or used all the cards in your hand, you then pick up your pool. So in order to stay in the game, because when you win tricks, you're also discarding cards, you need to have this cycle happening where you're able to refill your hand with cards that you've won.
You're discarding somewhere, and then what you're winning is sort of coming into a different area.
It's coming into a pool, and you need to keep that pool full so that you have cards to pick up when you've used all the cards in your hand. Now, this game is just about staying alive. There's no point. The first person who runs out of cards is eliminated and everybody else wins.
So like an anti-shedder, I guess? You don't want to shed too quickly.
Yes, but through trick-taking.
Oh,
so how do you like that? Yeah, it's an anti-shedding game. Yeah, so you're just trying to stay alive in that renewal cycle. So I just think that sounds like such a cool idea for trick-taking.
Yeah, that is really intriguing. I love that. Yeah,
it's like you've just got to win enough to stay in, but then you've got to be careful what you win. And I really like that element of it, that someone is like, oh yeah, you're going to win a trick and get some cards to fill up your pool. Well, guess what? I'm putting only high cards in here. So now you've also got to destroy those from your hand, which is going to make you cycle through quicker. And maybe the cards that you won weren't enough to offset the cards that I made you destroy from your hand.
Yeah, I'm really intrigued to feel what it's like when you play it and see.
Probably
like
very sad sometimes.
Probably very devastating. I'm like, I've finished.
Oh, I'm out.
Yeah.
Again? Shall we play again? So that is our number 2. And our number 1 most anticipated title for this Tokyo Game Market is the game Bats, or Bested Another Time. Now, this is Taylor Rayner, who, take this with a grain of salt, he is a good friend of ours.
Yes.
He has Taylor's trick-taking table, but he's a fantastic trick-taking shedding game designer.
Yeah, and developer. So it's not just the games that he's designed, he's also worked on so many other games.
Yes, and in particular, this is his follow-up game to kind of Owl. So Of What's Left was before this. And if you know the history of that game, he came and sold it at Tokyo Game Market and it sold out. It was Taylor and Sai Beppu and so cute. And he's done it again. And this time, you know, with Sai Beppu with this beautiful bat art. Yeah. And that Owl went on to become Sia's catalogue.
Yes.
And so that is a shedding game that lots of people love, including us.
Very
and
clever.
So it's not just because we're friends with you, Taylor.
No, yes.
But because we want to pick up this coveted item. Maybe have you sign it, sell it on eBay, you know. No, so Bested Another Time is another shedding game. And this one is really interesting. Oh, do you want to explain the theme first?
I believe you're bats and you're having very intellectual type conversations.
About films, because you've just been to BATIF, the film festival for bats.
Of course.
And you want to get all your thoughts out there and share with your friends first so you don't get bested by them.
Correct.
And so in this game, you are shedding melds, of course, just as usual, out of your hand. But when you pass, you get the opportunity to take a powerful card. Now, if you pass, it's a hard pass. You are out of that round. And the interesting thing about this game is everyone else continues to play, and if there's just one person, they can just continue to play. So you have to work out what is the optimal timing to dip out of a round and get one of these powerful cards, and these cards might allow you to, you know, lead next round, or they might be something that, like, simple, like just get rid of a single meld from your hand, which could buy you the win, or it could be something like placing a bet on who you think is actually going to win the game. And so really, really interesting, because the person who sheds out first is not necessarily the winner in this game either. Clever. So yeah, lots of things going on there. The art is gorgeous.
Yeah.
And interestingly, it has a solo
I love
mode.
the solo mode. It's all about after you leave the conversation, you start sort of replaying it in your mind and you start thinking of all the wonderful points that you didn't quite make. And so, but this time, because it's just you get to make them at exactly the right times and in exactly the right way. So, yeah.
So it must be just a challenge about sequencing. I didn't actually read the rules for the solo, but because, in the game itself, you can have one player just like playing over and over again. I'm intrigued to see how that works. It's not very common to have a solo in like a shedding or trick-taking game.
No. So again, like I mentioned for Northwood, which was it's a great solo game, trick-taking, campaign even, if you want. So yeah, we need more. I feel like it's done very well. It's consistently now in the top list for solo games. So designers out there may be a space here for more solo games in the trick-taking shedding world.
So that is our number one bats. But now on top of that, there are a few things that I'll be keeping an eye out for.
Okay.
Obviously, Ghost Lift was one of my anticipated games, and Orbiter from Essen, and so I'm hoping that they're going to be there. I believe they both are going to be, as well as Sweetland, which is a Euro that we haven't
want to play that.
We haven't had a chance to play that, and so we'll be looking for that there. And there's Tax the Rich as well by the designers of Saltfjord, a trick-taking game. So intrigued to check that out as well. Yeah. So there's so many more. There's so many other titles that we didn't put on this list, but
again, stuff that we don't even know about until we get there, which is the magic of this show. Yes.
Yeah, and so you'll see things and try and just have fun with it. Don't get the FOMO that, there's always going to be plenty of new games coming out. But I do want to give you a few tips about how to access some of these games if you're really interested in them. I will try my very best to include some of the reservation links. A lot of them have closed because they just close randomly. And so, or sometimes they might sell out of a small allocation. So anywhere where there's a reservation link that I have or can find, again, I will pop down in the description below. I'll also try and add the booth numbers. Now, this is important. If you are going to Tokyo Game Market, there is a map of the expo hall. You can get a physical copy of that map in the Tokyo Game Market book that comes out and is sold at Yellow Submarine. So if you're going there looking, if you're in Japan, you probably go to Yellow Submarine anyway to buy games. They sell a physical copy, but it's not cheap. And the rest of the book is in Japanese. So for most people, it's a very expensive way of buying the map. On the website, which we'll link to down below as well, you can print out the map.
Yeah, you can download the PDF and then print it out, or even just have it on your phone to reference.
Exactly, but I like to have it printed, a bit old school, but I like to draw on it and like put where everything is, because it can get a bit confusing once you get in there, like everything kind of looks the same and you're like, how do I navigate this hall? Or
it's like a sports play book. It's like the X and then then you move over here and then you do a pass and then it goes over here and then it's just like, and this is where you come in, Maggie. I was like, okay, and then what happens?
That is exactly what I do. Anyway, so we'll put as much help as we can down below. If you do see us there, please come over and say hi.
Yes.
Like, it is always strange for us when people say hi somewhere like in the middle of Japan.
And it's so cool.
And we'd love to hear about like what you've picked up or what you've been most interested in. Just love to stop and chat to people. So please say hi. And don't forget to bring bags, snacks, and an umbrella, because you never know what's going to happen. There's a lot of outdoor waiting and it's handy to have an umbrella.
And sometimes, the last couple of times it has rained and not a little sort of gentle drizzle. It's like it's bucketing down sometimes. So be prepared. And if not, if you're going to be in the sun, again, that's also really handy to have an umbrella to protect yourself.
It is true. So have a great time if you're going. If you're not and you're just interested in these games, well, hopefully more and more that these games are getting picked up and they're being distributed sometimes with a different theme by lots of different publishers are interested in Japanese games now. So maybe some of these interesting mechanics that we've talked about, you'll see come to life at a future date. But anyway, we're off to Japan now.
Yes.
So hopefully we'll see some of you there. But otherwise, we'll be back with more board game content soon. But bye for now.
Bye.